Hello, and thank you for joining me. How are you doing today?
Fine. As fine as can be expected. A bit tired from last night's hunt, though.
Well, I have a few questions for you if you don't mind me asking them.
Usually, it's the other that's asking the questions. I'll entertain you, sure.
Well, first of all, do you remember what it was like being human?
I remember having pasty pink flesh, but I don't remember what it is like to empathize, or to love, or to feel any emotion. All I feel now is the rage and vengeance. That's all that's there anymore.
What were you like as a human?
I remember a few things. I remember that I was young and I was attending a Catholic school, and I remember that I was punished frequently by the teachers and the nuns. I don't remember much else.
Do you miss being human?
I don't miss being human. It makes what I do all the more harder. If I were to feel empathy for a victim, then perhaps I would not be as good at my job as I am.
How did you become what you are now?
The details are blurry to me, but what I do remember is that while I was sitting in a dark room being punished for something I did not do, an angel, or perhaps it was a demon, came to me and asked me, would I like to take vengeance on them? I agreed with yes. The man disappeared. I woke up, and I was like this.
What did it feel like going through the transformation?
Well, as I stated, I was asleep, so I didn't feel any particular leaving of my humanity until I woke up. And once I woke up, it felt like I had been cut loose from the chains of humanity.
What are the biggest differences between being human and being what you are now?
The ability to feel. I don't feel much of anything anymore aside from what I've previously stated.
Why are you always seen in churches?
Well, I like to be close to places of worship. Perhaps it's the stigma, or perhaps it's just that I like being here and I feel more at home in places such as this.
Do you spend much time outside of churches?
Every once in a while, I'll go out and hunt, but I don't spend terribly long outside. I try to be back before dawn, if I can.
What would happen if you stayed out of a church for too long?
The last time I remember feeling anything when I was outside of these walls, I remember feeling like a part of me was leaving. Part of my essence was fading. So I rushed back here.
Does it have to be a certain type of church for you to stay in it?
I suppose it must be an area where it must be a church that recognizes confession. I tend to prefer the more of I tend to prefer the Roman Catholic or some other branch of Christianity's church, however.
Would you mind describing the place you're currently living in?
Sure. It's one of my favorite places, actually. It's where I go when I have time off from being summoned to other churches. It's an old abandoned chapel out on a highway in North Carolina with the prayers of several people hammered into the walls. This place has always felt more home to me than any other church.
Do you enjoy killing?
I enjoy it because I kill only those that deserve it. So yes, I do enjoy killing.
How do you find your victims?
Usually I don't have to find them. Usually some fool will tell the story of the Black Cleric somewhere in the world, and someone thinking that someone with a rather, shall we say, shady past will come to there and call me by name. I will approach, take their confession, and if I deem their crime severe enough, they will not live past the hour.
What type of crimes do people have to commit for you to make them one of your victims?
Well, I will not kill you for what they, I suppose, call in criminal justice misdemeanors. I won't kill you for stealing a pack of gum or cheating on a test. You have to have committed a violent crime, such as rape, murder, kidnapping, things of that nature.
Is there a certain way you prefer to kill them?
I tend to put a little bit of irony in my killings. I like to give them a taste of their own medicine, I suppose. For instance, if I were to kill a serial killer who had a thing for torturing people, I would inflict the same torture he had done on the people to himself. I would inflict that same torture on him.
Do you ever kill outside the church?
Of course, if I were to kill in these walls every time, no one would want to come in. There'd be too much blood all over the walls.
Do you do anything such as take something or leave something behind after a kill?
I tend to leave my calling cards. Usually it's a religious artifact, a rosary, a picture of the Virgin Mary, something that identifies it as a religious kill.
What do you do when you aren't seeking a victim?
Well, I do what most people do, I suppose. I eat, I plan, and I pray. I'm a man of God, after all.
Okay, well, that is it for my questions. Thank you.
You know, you ask an awful lot of questions. Do you mind if I ask you one?
Be my guest.
Would you like to make a confession?
I'm good. Thank you, though.